At one point in Michael Almereyda's 2002 feature Happy Here and Now, character Eddie, an aspiring filmmaker, bids his actors recall how the initial Nickelodeon precursors to cinema had entranced and captivated the masses whilst the extravagant elephants of the theatrical circuses whittled away. He invokes this in order to compare the current state of film and cinema versus digital and the internet, after his actress seemingly questioned shooting a production on video. Eddie claims that, as the little Nickelodeons offered sincerity and humanity in contrast with the high bourgeois excesses of the theatre stage, so too would the internet's videos in conjunction with the ever-increasing high monetization of Hollywood cinema. I think he was onto something, perhaps. I have previously made 2 videos on Michael Almereyda's films. First was 1994's Nadia, an enormous favourite of mine and an imaginative masterpiece. I also really love 1998's Trance, although my video on it did it no justice, as anyone who's seen it would know. I'll spend a little bit of time here quickly addressing the fact that Trance, aka The Eternal, is what Nadia did with the Dracula mythos, except with the mummy, and set in Ireland instead. It is a stellar picture, highly recommended. But today a short video on Almereyda's 2002 classic Happy Here and Now. Almereyda had gone from Nadia and Trance to 2000's Hamlet starring Ethan Hawke. Not a huge favourite of mine, but I can respect it for what it is. Meanwhile, it didn't seem to fare too well commercially. It was likely as not still the most prominent, financed production which Almereyda ever worked on, although I don't know if it made a huge amount of money. Whatever the case, Almereyda was unable to attain an extensive budget, I would assume, for Happy Here and Now, though it is easy to imagine that even if 2000's Hamlet had been a commercial smash, the screenplay for Happy Here and Now would be deemed too good to take a fiscal risk on. This is one of my favourite scripts of all time. If I read this from beginning to end as a piece of text prior to having ever even seen the film, I would be enraptured. It isn't necessarily that it is a superlative piece of dialogue combat, say, A Man for All Seasons, or intricately, cleverly woven like Chinatown, or bouncy and dynamic like Reservoir Dogs. It is closer to an ideal work which weaves futuristic ideas within a grounded, localized, contemporary space, firmly places its film within a particular lived-in environment, but illuminates the aesthetic majesty of each setting it explores throughout the runtime. Every scene successively adds something new and wholly relevant to a thematic current of the preceding moments. As the film ends, it opens up a potential answer to its proposed mystery, closes it again, and chooses to instead find purpose in the events which have preceded. For there is no reason we cannot be happy here and now. This is almost like a better Fear X. Check out the hacking away of Fear X. Do a search of that. It's on Stories of the Voyage. That's a classic video. Anyway, scripted and directed by Almereyda, shot by one Jonathan Heron, Happy Here and Now is a huge favourite. I utterly love the textures with which its digital video captures its setting, New Orleans. The world of Happy Here and Now is one wherein every moment is filmic, because every moment is so human, if you know what I mean, but a world its protagonist is trying to leave, or somewhat transcend, in order to find her missing sister. Actually, let me elaborate. Let me try and improv an elaboration upon that statement there. Every moment is filmic because it is so human. Well, take the subplot concerning I can't remember the character's name, the widow of the deceased firefighter. This character, like, her having the eye patch and her being this character who I think confidently walks around eager to look for solace to her husband's passing, she, without frailty, says what's on her mind and happily approaches, not happily, but assertively approaches the other character, whose name I don't remember, the other firefighter, because she wants to talk about her husband, his deceased co-worker. I think moments like these, just her presence in and of itself is so human, but it's also intrinsically so filmic. The way that actress moves about, the way she's framed, especially in relation to other characters. There's when she's framed with her deceased husband's co-worker, for example. it's like the great visual contrast, both, obviously their tone of skin, their hair color, and obviously the eye patch. Visuals like this are more than words can say, obviously more than I can explain, and I think moments like these are what reminds us that, the fact that we can cohere such beautiful humanity from just little snippets such as these. Like, if I just took, just from that screen cap I take of those two characters, you feel something. That screen cap is filmic because of everything that is within it, right? Because you can feel a certain distinct human resonance, right? Maybe I'm not right. And then Muriel's dream sequence / getting sucked up into the internet, possibly. I mean, my goodness, this is one of the greatest visions of... This is more of a transformative experience than most high-budget films have ever attempted. Just see it for yourself. There's a few screen caps that tease it. It may look a little bit like a more garage take of the... I'm not trying to reduce the brilliant affect of the moment of that scene in particular, but it almost reminds me of a more gothic, industrial 1990s punk rock take on the the Aha music video for Take On Me. I know that's a silly comparison. That's kind of why I'm sharing it, actually. Happy Here and Now is the kind of film I would prefer others to go into completely blind. If you are expecting a conventional film and something to latch onto pre-existing narrative film grammar, I'm not sure if this is it. Although if you are open-minded for anything, you might come out of this film, as I did, considering it an absolute masterpiece.